Doesn't mean the aura. We need the corporation. When I need bigger knife, bigger knife. 'Cause we got guns, we got guns, we got guns.
So when you have those laws, those lax laws, and guns are everywhere, you carry it, you got your assault weapons, etc., more gun deaths. It's a fact. It's a fact. Okay? Go ahead and, the good guys with guns. But probably a lot of people who died were bad guys.
In 1996, after a lunatic used a semi-automatic rifle to murder 34 people in Tasmania, the Australian government banned all semi-automatic rifles and repeating shotguns. Owners of roughly 700,000 registered firearms, about a quarter of the country's 3 million total guns, were required to turn them in for destruction. The government called this a buyback, but in fact no one had a choice. As my research shows, this model will not work in the United States for the simple reason that the U.S. has roughly 325 million guns. This is orders of magnitude more than any other country. 72 countries that attempted to enforce gun confiscation or registration on their citizens. They found massive defiance of these laws, with only about a third of gun owners complying. If Americans defy gun bans at just the average rate that has occurred internationally, then we should expect tens of millions of guns to flood into the black market.
On and on. If you don't have guns, you don't have gun deaths. Obviously.
Let's look at France, for instance. If you all remember, we had the Charlie Hebdo shootings, and those guns those guys had were illegal. For a legal citizen, or I should say, for a person to have a gun illegally there in France, it's a 7-year in prison. 75 million guns are in circulation in France, despite them having laws that are really stringent about citizens having guns at all.
ATF director. We've only had one Senate-confirmed ATF director since 2006. So there are a lot of things that we can do. It wouldn't have necessarily solved, Las Vegas, but there is common ground. And instead of polarizing this and saying we have to get everything and other people saying we're not going to do anything, take the things we do agree on.
If somebody who has a high IQ, who has the means, is going to do it, and we have 7.5 billion people on this planet, it's going to happen again, and it might be a terrorist or it might be a loner. We may never know this motive. All we have to figure out is how do we prevent something like this? And it's not going to be essentially just laws. I'm fine. Go after the bump stocks. The fact is, you don't need one of those to fire a gun as an automatic. There are ways you can get around that.
These bump fire stocks are not viable options if you're serious about shooting. I want to show you why they're not normally used in crimes. This crackpot whack job in Las Vegas was shooting down on top of 25,000 people in a crowd. Doesn't make him a marksman or a sniper or a good shot in any kind, the fact that he wounded and hurt so many people. I'm gonna try it again. I want you to see this. I maybe hit it twice, maybe 3 times. Not very consistent. Not going to trust my life to one of these. It locks this stock in place and allows you to shoot this thing like a standard semi-automatic AR-15 would. I hit way more times by having a controlled follow-up shot than all of those other bump fire magazines combined. Folks, plain and simple, a bump fire stock is a really stupid option. Unless you're planning on not hitting what you're shooting at and you just want to waste a ton of ammo, these things are not what you're looking for. It was a stupid choice by this clown in Las Vegas to choose in the first place. Clearly the guy knew nothing about firearms. Our hearts and prayers definitely go out to the people in Las Vegas who lost their lives, all of their families. We pray for all of them, and we hope something comes of this.
Okay, so lastly, in the age of terrorism and all sorts of madness that's going on, would you really feel safe in a country where you would have to wait half an hour to an hour for anybody with a gun to come and save you? Knowing how bad the police, quote unquote, have abused their powers, would you feel okay having to rely on them to save you? I really think that that gun restrictions are reasonable, and I'm not against gun restrictions at all. I just think that going to the route where you take people's guns away altogether would leave more problems than it would solve, especially in a nation where we're a nation of rebels. We earned our freedom because everybody had guns. You'll get rid of guns from legal citizens, only to allow criminals more free reign because they know that no one has it. As you can see, these guys don't look like they're going to be someone who's going to follow the gun laws.